Okay. So to do that, Onion, whatever the browser that you use for the JSON structure, depending on the browser that you use, if you're using Firefox, try to install Firebug, something like this. It's a Chrome, it's a Firefox extension. Similarly, Chrome also has inbuilt. You can use any of them. So basically the JSON, I'll show you JSON link pro. This is some kind of an editor, pro.jsonlint.com. Okay. So generally, JSON is a simple JavaScript object notation. That's the meaning of JSON, JavaScript object notation. So when the web service sends the response in the format of JSON structure, JavaScript can be easily parsed through that data and then render the pages. So JSON is very lightweight to transfer data between browser and server. So now the JSON structure, simple JSON structure is something like this: curly brace, curly brace. And then let's say I want to get the user detail. So it's a simple key and value pairs. User key is, I'm saying, first name, and value is whatever the data that we are going to send through the web service. That is nothing but, let's say, Govardhan. So this is very simple JavaScript which is sending first name as Govardhan. How this can be? I want to see this. Okay. So ideally, you need to use this on JSONlint.com. Other one, JSON compare. I don't know why it's forward that. Try to use JSONlint.com and then validate. You just click on validate JSON. So now it says, yes, it's a valid JSON structure. Let's say I'm giving some comma, but I'm not adding second key value pair. Now you can see this is not a valid JSON format. So that means every key value pair will be separated by comma. Now I'm saying last name. Now I'm giving singularity. Now you can see it's a valid JSON format. So like this, you can give any number of key value pairs within the braces. So this is simple JSON object. Any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Now, let's say I wanted to send a list of, let's say I am having two different addresses. How I can send the two different addresses with the same user? To do that is nothing but array. I'm saying key is address and the value, because I'm holding two addresses, and the value should go inside an array. So now valid, it's a valid JSON with empty array. That means I am not sending any addresses. Still it is a valid. Now here I'm saying to, let's say something like this. What I can say is probably I'll change this to countries. India, comma, USA. So you can pass simple strings as array of strings, something like this. So it's a valid one. So and that's how you can define arrays. So in this example, what we did, array of simple strings, nothing complex here. Now, let's say I want to make it a little bit complicated with the list. Now, address, same list of addresses, that is nothing but an array. Now, my address might have, street name, city, zip code, something like that. Then I cannot mention as a simple strings. So to do that, you need to mention again object, something like this. So just like whole thing as object, similarly, inside the array, you can create objects, something like this. So now this means address is having a list of 2 objects and both of the objects are empty. It's a valid JSON. Now we are going to fill the objects. Here I am saying street name common and second address again the same. I can give anything, street name, something like that. Oh, okay. Because it should be separated by colon, not comma. Key value pair is by colon, right? So that's the problem. So this is how you can create a array list of objects. So now there is no rule to make these objects having similar keys. Now suppose here I am saying zip code 94539. Here I can say postal code. You don't need to pass identical keys. You can pass whatever your business logic is needed. The problem. Postal code. Something like that. You can see it still works. That's how you can slowly make it complicated JSON object. Any questions?
No questions.
So this address inside the array we are giving objects, right? So this is if you want to give more than one address or
yeah, if you want to give more than one address, then you need, whenever you need to do more than one, that means you have to put them in an array.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, native. Suppose I am creating some other customized some name I am just mentioning, customized address, or for example, shipping address. So here you want to give only one. Then you can still do that. Do again create an object. So because shipping address is only one. So inside this, now start writing whatever the address keys that you want. Street name, something like ratio. Okay. You can do that. So now it's all valid. So I can you can create a list of objects or a simple object inside an object. So that's how you can do that.
Okay. Yeah.
So any other questions?
No, that's it.
Okay. Now let's go back to this is what the simple JSON structure that don't worry about how the structure will be read in the UI and in the other pages. I mean, that's not the objective of this training. We are talking about only exposing the web services. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Okay. What was the project? Full stack training, right?
Yes.
No Git repository, right? I see. Okay. No, I cleaned up the Eclipse, so that's why I don't have it. So I'll get you back. Yep. So here we have something called landing controller. Okay. So now this part, until this part, you guys know what it is. So now in the landing controller, I'm creating one more method method with a different. I'm doing the same way, however, the previous welcome method was. And this time, I'm saying request mapping. I'm saying get user, some name. I mean, this name, you can give any name of your choice, / get user. Now, public. This method will return, I'm saying map, string, object, get user. Now, because I'm mentioning this method will return map, I'm declaring the map. Something map parameter name, new hash map. So now I'm keeping some details inside the map. User details.put, first name, I'm keeping Go version as a value. And again, I'm keeping some more user details dot put. Something happened. Wait a minute, I think battery charged. 1 minute. I think the power is getting off. Let's see, I'm getting power. Yeah. Return user details. Okay. So now what did I do? I created a simple map adding the two keys and values, and then I'm returning the user details. That's all. I'm not doing anything specific here. So now this is nothing but a simple web service. Let's see how this works. Okay. So I have something running on the code. Okay. I have another application running on the same code, so I start that application. Okay. So now this is what we see earlier. Now I'm adding saying get user. So whatever the path that you are adding here, this should exactly match the request mapping. This one. So now that's how you can call this. This is nothing but a REST-based web service URL. No, it didn't work. Let's see why. Because I use the capital case. It's the case sensitive. So I use the smaller U instead of uppercase U. Still not. Request mapping should be there.
We did not create any JSP page for that, right?
No, you don't need to create a JSP page. Oh, I see the problem. So
Like once if we create JSP page, that's enough, right?
Pardon me?
Once if we create JSP page, that's enough, right?
Yeah.
Until and unless the other page is not other than JSP.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
So I'm moving because this is a controller. So a controller requires model and view. I mean, that's a different path. So I'll explain you at the point of time. So I'm moving this to a different controller, user controller. And you need to make it as a REST controller. Annotation is different. So that means whatever the methods you write will become a REST-based services. So this is a difference. REST controller, and this is a simple controller. Now let's run the same thing. That's it. Okay? So now you see here, this is nothing but JSON object. That's what I explained earlier. So now in the map, whatever you kept here, key value. So that is Spring will take care of converting the whole map, whatever you give in this map, into a respective JSON. That's the Spring internally does. So, once you have this URL, you're getting the JSON object. That's it. This is the simplest REST-based web service. Any questions?
No.
No question.
Okay, so that's all for today. You do practice, add more list, creating not only map. I given the simple one. You make it complicated and try to generate the different web services. Adding more methods, just like I am adding only web service, right? You can add multiple web services here and do more practice around this. If you have any questions, I'll answer. Otherwise, we can wrap up for today.
No questions.
No questions.
Like we'll do some changes and shall we push?
Yeah, you have to create your own branches and you have to start writing code to push the changes.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any questions, I'll answer. Otherwise, you can wrap up for today.
No questions.
Yeah, no questions.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Yeah, no questions.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Yeah, good.